are Confessional Magazine. I am Taywow, and this is More to the Story, brought to you today by Iris and Bo, whose toner helps keep my laugh lines in check, because you never know what our guests are going to say. Visit irisandbo.com today and use code CONFESSIONAL for 20% off. So much love in this heart of mine. Welcome to Confessional Magazine. I'm Taylor, and today I'm here with the wonderful Sara Benabdallah, and she is working on a wonderful film that is this just beautiful story, and I can't wait to hear her story as well. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Taylor, for having me, really. It means so much. This is my first podcast, so I'm really excited.
Oh, good. I mean, this is all a new journey for me, too. I started this because there's just a need for people to just feel the joy, and the more stories we can share, the more people will feel connected with each other. And that's just how we'll all get through this. So thank you again for being here. And you are working on Lifespan of a Dog right now. So can you tell me about this story and how you became a part of it?
So, so how I became a part of it, the lead actress in this film is called Ashlyn Price. I worked with Ashlyn before on a different film. I was like the BTS photographer, and she was acting in the film, a student film. And yeah, we just like kind of bonded, and we talked with her mom as well, and just like created this beautiful relationship. And like a few months later, I get a call from them saying that her casting director, casting agent, basically wrote this short screenplay. And they are looking for a director, and so I read the script, and I was like, I said yes, of course, because I love Ashlyn so much. She's a great actress, so I just couldn't refuse. But after reading the script and just knowing Kathy and everything, it's a beautiful little story. Basically, it's based on true events. This is about Kathy Rankin's life. And it deals with a lot of important topics that I think are really important for today. It deals with generational trauma. It deals with like just depression, anxiety, and just art kind of being, that kind of healing for a 12-year-old. So yeah, the film, it's short film, but it kind of follows the young girl. I believe, it's 1972, the summer of 1972, and it follows her through the summer right after her father dies. And basically, she's a first generation American, and her parents, one is an immigrant and one is a Holocaust survivor. So she deals with that generational trauma from her dad's side. And yeah, it's a short story, but it's like really well done, because Kathy's been thinking about the story forever, and she's been writing it for quite some time. So that kind of elevates the quality of a film.
Absolutely, especially because it's so it's directly from things that she went through in her own life.
Exactly.
That just makes a script that much more powerful.
Yeah, it's just it's so like her point of view is so clear, and the tone in the film is just like such a wonderful story. And it's not like, too sad or too, it's just the right amount to tell that story. And I didn't know about generational trauma at all before this. And I obviously don't relate to the whole Holocaust survivor parents, but I can definitely relate, because I've dealt with depression for like a while now, and just kind of like I can relate in a sense where my art really helped me through that. And it's the same thing here for this story. Laura's character, she deals with that, and that's how she kind of gets out of the whole, or not just gets out, but it guides her a little bit.
Yeah, and it is so joyful. I watched the trailer that anybody can check out, and honestly, like, so you go into this trailer and it's this girl, and she's kind of like looking in the mirror, and she's singing, and it's just, you're automatically pulled into this it's almost like a wonderland of what's going to happen next. And it's beautiful. And I personally, I am really fascinated by history, any world history. So for my honeymoon, my husband and I went to Munich, Germany.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the first day on our honeymoon, we went to the concentration camp, Dachau.
Mhm.
Um, just because I felt like we're over there, we're seeing the beautiful mountains, we're meeting these wonderful
Yeah,
people, but the stories behind this land go so much deeper than that. And so to
exactly.
be able to like go into this, terrible part of the world's history,
Yeah,
it just, I don't know, it does something to you. And
exactly.
this story of this girl and the Holocaust survival, and it's
Mhm.
just, it's such a powerful thing.
Yeah, it is, and especially right now. I mean, there's a lot of content, as you said in the beginning. Like, there's a lot of content and entertainment out there right now with all the streaming services. But it's just really important to remember history and just to
Hmm.
remember, especially right now with most of the Holocaust survivors are like dead, almost all of them right now, and it's just really important to kind of have things going like can just retelling the stories because
Absolutely.
history does repeat itself and it's really we live in scary times and it's just like it's nice to get to just kind of remember you know
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a timeline for when, you're hopeful that the production team and everything is hopeful that this will come to fruition?
So yeah, we're right now we're planning to shoot in March. So but we are still raising the funds right now on our GoFundMe page. So it just
Mhm.
really all depends on that, to be honest.
Yeah. So how can we find the GoFundMe?
Yeah, it's just if you go on our Instagram, it's Lifespan of a Dog Film. It's in the link, or on my Instagram as well. It's the same thing. It's just go found me Lifespan of a Dog. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. What, like, where do you come from?
Okay, so I'm from Morocco. I'm from Marrakesh, Morocco. I was born and raised there, and then I went to college to New York, New York Film Academy, and then to LA. And then now I'm finishing my MFA at the Savannah College of Art and Design. So yeah, I've been
Ah, you've
I've
been
been
all around.
yeah, I've been here for quite some time in the States and everything, but I do go back to Morocco like once at least once a year I try.
Yeah. Savannah is just one of the most beautiful little
Yeah,
cities.
talking about history, it's perfect place to
Oh, yeah,
know.
down on the waterfront
Mhm.
too. It's just, there's nothing like it. There's something very special about that
It's
town.
I mean, I'm my favorite city is New York, but out of all the three, just Savannah's, it is the most beautiful, to be honest. Just like living, because I do live in downtown, so
Uh-huh.
I get to like just wake up, I want to go for a walk, and you just walk, and it's just like such a beautiful city, to be
Yeah.
honest. So, yeah,
What's the film industry like in Savannah?
there's a lot of actually I was really surprised. I didn't know, to be honest, but there's a lot of movies are being shot here. I mean, the Glorious was shot here, the new Disney Lady and the Tramp was shot here.
I had no idea.
Yeah, Amazon's underground railroad was shot here as well, for the summer. Yeah, there's just tons of things because of Atlanta as well, but it's just a great affordable place
Yeah.
to
And
shoot stuff. So
probably also the weather probably helps, especially right now with
yeah,
quarantine going on,
yeah,
because in other cities you're inside,
yeah, yeah,
inside a studio. In Savannah, the weather's going to be better and you can be outside
yeah.
filming these.
And it's
Yeah.
it's quite like diverse too. Georgia as a state is very diverse. I mean, you can be by the water or like in the swamps or like even like um I think what was it? Stranger Things was shot in Georgia as well. Like so you get like all these different nature cool spots. I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks though to shoot in the summer here. I'm telling you. It's just like
I bet.
coming from Morocco, it's like it's hot, but here the humidity just kills you, you know?
Yeah, that's awful. Got to keep the towels around.
Exactly. Yeah.
So after, well, you're still working on your MFA,
Mhm.
but what was your first project like in film that you would say like you were like, okay, I've known for a while that I wanted to be in this industry, but this is my passion. I'm good at this.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a good question. You know what? I think I didn't have really a project where I was like, okay, yeah, I think it happened like little pieces every time there was like something. Um, I think recently, something here in Savannah, it kind of just, a year ago, I took a class for stop motion animation, and I took, the first try, and that's when I was like, okay, like I still love live action as well. I just think that I have a feeling that I have to do something related to that for the next few years, because I just love that medium. It's so just amazing. But yeah,
My wheels are spinning now too.
oh,
I'm gonna email you about some ideas I have.
okay. Sounds good. Yeah, it's I'm working on my thesis is gonna be a stop motion animation, so I'm in the process of shooting it right now. It's really hard, but because it takes so much time, and like there's not a lot of people who do it. Uh, but it's such a beautiful art.
Yeah.
So
So what like made you want to take that route? Because like you said, not a lot of people do that. So it's really cool that you're
yeah,
paving your route in that.
I actually it's just I think I believe in fate, so I think to me it's that. But the first film that I ever remember watching, because we didn't have television when I was like really really young back then,
Uh-huh.
was Chicken Run. And Chicken Run was a claymation, like one of the most successful animation on
Yeah.
television. So like I just remember my father works in tourism, and we had this like lady that came from France every summer, and she brought her computer and she showed us Chicken Run, and that was like my like I loved that. So that's a huge part. But you know, forward a few years, I didn't think about stop motion at all until I was in SCAD, and I walk around the building, and they have a small department for stop motion, and I just kind of like stumble upon it, and I'm like, ooh, what is this,
Yeah.
And I just took the first class there, and I was like, this is really cool.
You fell in love and you were good at it.
So
That's the
yeah, I
best
hope so.
part.
I hope so. Yeah. So it's really fun. I still have a lot to learn because I'm not like an animation student and everything, but it's just so beautiful. You can do things a million different ways, and you can just like put like there's just such great craftsmanship about the whole thing, like the way they build the props and sets and the puppets, and you have much more control over things than in live action, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's such a beautiful
So tell me about, are you able to tell me about the project you're working on?
sure, yeah. I mean, it's not a very big project because it takes a long time
Yeah.
to do that. I think 4 or 5 minutes usually takes them a year to create with a team of 10 to 20 people maybe. Um, but
I had no idea.
yeah, it's quite because it's you shoot 24 frames per second. You have to move the characters like a little bit and a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that comes after you build the stuff. Building the sets and the puppets take a really long time too.
And so you would do both of those things.
Yeah, so right now I'm almost done. I have two other people that are helping me. They're creating the puppets, and I created the sets myself. But yeah, we're just about to shoot right now. So yeah, it's just a little story kind of inspired by my dad and his relationship with his grandpa in Morocco. So it's like a period piece as well from the 60s in the desert. And it's just a grandpa and his grandkid kind of bonding over something like really simple. And so yeah, it's mostly about creating an atmosphere because I knew I couldn't make like a long script with actions and things because that's like so hard to do. So I just wanted to focus on the atmosphere, like a
Telling a story.
exactly like a postcard from that time, like specific time and place. And so yeah, I'm
That's
excited
so
about it.
beautiful.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful. So does your dad know that
Yes.
you're, I didn't know if you would keep it a
Yeah.
surprise, or is
I
your,
I tried to keep it a surprise, but I just couldn't.
yeah.
He's really excited about it too.
Yeah, is your grandfather?
It's actually his grandfather. So yes, he
Oh,
passed
okay,
away.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I get it now. Okay, I cannot wait for this because there's something like I'm here because of stories, right?
Yeah.
You're a storyteller and that's just so
Yeah.
beautiful. And the generational thing, because then now that ties into Lifespan of a Dog as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, there's so much beauty in humanity, and
There is.
there is, and we get a bad rap, you know. I think like I think there's more good out there than sometimes, you know, people are given credit for. So I love that you have this story to tell, and I'm so excited to just see your journey and see Lifespan of a Dog come to life
Thank you.
and your project come to life. Does your project have a name?
Yeah, it's called The Metal.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's because in Moroccan we do a lot of metaphors and things like that. So they refer to the cars that drive through the desert as the metal because of the sound it makes. So like the metal sound, like
Yeah.
the car kind of like
Yeah.
So it's called The Metal.
I love this so much. I am so excited for you, and
Thank you so
I
much.
just feel honored to have been able to sit down and talk to you and hear even just like a little piece of your story.
Oh, thank you so much. Really.
Yeah, and you know, reach out to the rest of Lifespan of a Dog and let them know that I would love to talk to everybody. I want to get the word out about this because it's a beautiful project.
Yes.
The story needs to be heard.
It's
And
really important. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna try
yeah,
to make it happen.
yeah, it's going to, and it's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait to see it come to life, and I will make sure to spread as much word about it as possible. And thank you so much for being here today, Sarah.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
So much love in this heart of mine.